up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing what Matthew Stafford had to say about the MVP race and also Taylor Decker's contract. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. We are once again back to discuss some Detroit Lions. Now, I believe for training camp today, the Lions are actually in Ford Field. I think that's what it's going to be today. So we'll see if we get any takeaways from that a little bit later in the day. I'll keep you guys posted. But for now, we're going to be reacting to what Matthew Stafford reportedly had to say about the MVP race and also a little bit of a deeper dive into Taylor Decker's contract, because yesterday we talked about the Lions extending him, we talked about the contract and what the numbers were. We really didn't dive into that contract to kind of how well the Lions did with giving this contract to Taylor Decker. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Now, before we get into it, let's go check out the board. As you guys can see, 11 days until the Detroit Lions kick off and only 8 days until the NFL season starts. We're about a week away until the season starts. Think about that, guys. Literally almost a week away until the season starts. This stuff is crazy. Just about a week away from the NFL season to start. So we're going to have a Thursday game. It's the Chiefs and Texans. And then obviously the Lions will play on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. So, I mean, guys, we're so close. It's crazy. We're so close. Now let's get into today's video. Let's first start off with what Matthew Stafford reportedly had to say. So I don't know if you guys watch Good Morning Football or not. I sometimes check it out a little bit later, check out kind of some segments and things like that, but I usually don't just watch the show. However, you know, they have a good cast over there. They got Peter Schrager, they have Nate Burleson, the former Lions wide receiver. They have a good cast on that show, and they talk about the NFC North a lot, including the Detroit Lions. I know Nate Burleson brings up the Detroit Lions all of the time. Peter Schrager talking about Matthew Stafford and talking about the Detroit Lions and the pieces they've added and why, you know, they could compete in the NFC North next season. And he also discussed Matthew Stafford and saying that, you know, he could be potentially a dark horse MVP candidate. He said, you know what? Maybe you could forget about the dark horse and just say MVP candidate, because if Detroit Lions can find a way to successful, don't be surprised if this is the guy that we're talking about come January. And I think, you know, that's a very good point. Like I said before, if Matthew Stafford's team can be somewhat successful, he's going to get a lot of recognition, because let's be honest, guys, Stafford's going to put up the numbers next season. Don't be shocked that Stafford puts up MVP numbers next season. He was doing it last year, or he had basically the best numbers in the league passing as a quarterback before he got injured. Now you give him more weapons. If Stafford's healthy, he's going to put up ridiculous numbers, okay? He's going to have some of the best numbers in the league as a quarterback. Now they just need that team success to come with it. And if Matthew Stafford didn't get hurt last season, their team success probably would have been there, at least better than last season, better than 6 wins, probably somewhere around 8 or 9 wins on the season. Now, if the Detroit Lions next season can become a playoff contender, which is the mandate by the Detroit Lions front office to Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, and Matthew Stafford puts up those numbers that we saw last season for a full year, which wouldn't surprise me at all, I would not be shocked if he throws over 5,000 yards. If Stafford goes over 5,000 yards again, I would not be surprised. Not with the weapons that he has. He was on pace for 5,000 last year, and you didn't lose anything. Like, he didn't lose weapons. All you did was give him more weapons to throw to. And you have guys like T.J. Hockenson and Jesse James who are going into year 2 of this scheme. I mean, to be honest with you guys, Matthew Stafford's going to have ridiculous numbers. Now, we're hoping that run game comes together, and if it does, the Lions will be successful. Because I bring it up a lot, but this is where the voting comes in, because the only time Matthew Stafford was voting into the Pro Bowl was after the 2014 season, where the Lions were 11-5. It was not Matthew Stafford's best season. Not at all. It was nowhere near his best season, but the Lions were successful as a team. He got recognition. He's a Pro Bowler. Now in 2020, if the Lions can be successful and he puts up numbers like he did last year for a full year, the guy's going to be an MVP candidate. After Peter Schrager got done talking about Matthew Stafford, Nate Burleson was next up talking. He said this. Matthew Stafford said, take off the dark horse. I'm going for the MVP. Okay, he's going all out this year. Oh, snap. Matthew Stafford said that.
Dark horse MVP candidate. Heck, get rid of the dark horse. Maybe he's just an MVP candidate. If the Lions are a team that is competing, don't be shocked if Matthew Stafford is that guy that we're talking about come January, is having the biggest season and maybe the biggest comeback we've seen in recent years.
Awesome. No doubt about it. I remember you took Stafford as your dark horse MVP. He texted me afterwards and said, tell Peter, forget the dark horse stuff. I'm going for the MVP. Let's keep the conversation going. Yeah.
Oh, really? Now, Matthew Stafford's a very humble. He's a quiet guy. He's not over social media. Okay, that's just not who he is, all right? He keeps his head down. He does his work. He takes the criticism. He goes out there and balls out, okay? You just don't hear from Matthew Stafford. He's a very humble and quiet guy that just does his job. So we're obviously assuming this is true. It's coming from Nate Burleson. I don't think he would lie about something like this. It'd be really dumb to lie about, to be honest. But he got this text message. I'm sure they do text each each other, right? They were former teammates. He got this text message from Matthew Stafford saying that. Now, I don't expect Stafford to ever go on and say something like this, but I could see Matthew Stafford texting this because, let's be honest, he has to realize what he did last season. I mean, he has to understand what him and Darrell Bevell are capable of, and he has to see in training camp what's going on, what weapons he is coming with, and what Darrell Bevell is allowing him to do as a quarterback. If Matthew Stafford, oh my gosh, Matthew Stafford could definitely win the MVP next year. And it's not even surprising. You guys sometimes are like, why are you taking him so high in fantasy? Well, a little bit, yes, because I'm a homer. But two, Matthew Stafford could have the best numbers of any quarterback next season. It would not surprise me. Stafford's going to be a monster. Stafford's going to be a monster next year if he's healthy. And I love this, okay? We know Stafford's been putting in the work. Stafford's reaching out to players in the offseason. He's like, hey, come over here to work. I think a lot of it had to do with that injury. Matthew Stafford hasn't had an injury like that in a very long time. He's been the Iron Man for a long time. All of a sudden, you take him out of the season for half the year and he has to sit there and watch. He has to watch his team lose every single game on the sideline after a very hot start offensively. Oh, he's coming back. Because that kind of woke up Stafford like, oh snap, I don't like this. I like being on the field. I don't know how long my career is going to be. I don't know anything about the future. I'm going to go out right now and we're going to win some football games. They put the talent around me. They got me weapons. I can't control the defense, but I can control this offense. And we're going to go out there and we're going to light it up. We're going to light up the scoreboard. That's what Matthew Stafford has to be thinking. And that's where the confidence comes from. And I love it. He understands how great he was last year, and he understands how great he could be next year. We understand that Stafford could be an MVP winner. I would not be shocked whatsoever if Stafford wins the MVP, which would be amazing. It'd be a huge look for the Lions organization in general, for Matthew Stafford to win the MVP. I mean, that would just be big. I mean, you would not expect a team like the Detroit Lions to put out an MVP winner. It just doesn't seem like a normal thing. Finally get that recognition. It would also mean the Lions would probably be pretty darn successful. This could be a huge year for the Detroit Lions. The excitement is building for a reason. Now, moving on to Taylor Decker's contract. Okay, I just have a little bit more details on his contract, how it's structured. And let me just say, it's structured very well. I saw some people putting in the comment section. Shout out to you guys that were saying how much was guaranteed and things like that. It's a very good structured contract for Taylor Decker because Taylor Decker is not guaranteed everything, okay? There's a lot of things that he has to earn, and there is basically a potential out at some point. Kind of like the Big V contract. There is a potential out for the Detroit Lions if they wanted to. But what's so crazy about this contract extension for 6 years is that the Lions are literally saving over $2 million this season. You're probably thinking, how in the world is that possible? Yeah, the Lions are saving over $2 million a season because they were set to give him over $10 million for the 2020 season. But with this extension, his cap hit for this season is only $8.1 million. So Lions are saving money potentially if they want to go out and bring someone else in. I know a lot of people are on the Leonard Fournette hype trade. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but still, it's money's money, and it's always good to save some of it. And for the years coming up, next season, $13 million guaranteed for 2021, $14.7 million guaranteed for 2022. But after that, man, not a lot of guarantees, okay? Not a lot at all. It's a lot of things that he has to earn, a lot of incentives that he has to earn. $250,000 for a workout bonus from 2022 to 2024. $500,000 for a roster bonus for 2024. $7.5 million signing bonus that will be moved out throughout all 6 years. Look, it's a really good contract for Taylor Decker because a lot of it has to be earned, and there is basically a potential out. So there is some guarantees, but it's very close. I mean, the guarantees are in the next couple of years. It's a very good contract for Taylor Decker. It's not super expensive, and like some of you have pointed out in the comment section of that video, it's like everybody's contract, okay? Remember when everybody was getting caught up on Matthew Stafford's the highest paid quarterback, but he's not the best quarterback, and then all of a sudden now he's not even near the top of the quarterback list? It's because that's how contracts work. They're going to continue to outdo themselves. You're going to get a guy that just resets the market, and all of a sudden everybody's kind of filing into that. And that's how it works. Matthew Stafford at one point, yes, he was the highest paid quarterback, and while he may not have been the best quarterback in the league at that time, it moves quick, all right? People are going to get their extensions. That's going to slowly work its way down. And Matthew Stafford, before you know it, is nowhere near the top anymore. That's what it's going to look like for tackles as well. But to get a young guy secure like Taylor Decker for multiple years, and Matt Patricia talked about the Taylor Decker contract extension. He usually doesn't like to talk about contracts. What he likes about Taylor Decker is, one, he's his own guy. The Lions are extending their own guy. He says you can't win, you can't build a team, you can't build a foundation if you can't develop players. If you're just going out signing new guys every offseason, it's not going to work. We know some teams have that problem. Team chemistry is way bigger than we think. And development is what the Lions have here. This was Bob Quinn's first draft pick back in 2016. And to give him this big extension is big, okay? It really does show that the Lions see the development, they see the growth, and they're going to give him a chance. All right, they're going to give him that money. They're going to reward him with his hard work, with his consistent play, with his consistent production, with his improvements year in and year out, and the work that he put into training camp. Not focused on the money, head down, putting in work, and doing his thing. All right, so they reward him for that. So shout out to Matt Patricia, shout out to Taylor Decker. Congratulations, my guy. You earned it.
In the future that have been drafted that we want to build upon. You know, I think, and certainly we add the free agent pieces that we know help us, and certainly in the immediate and then also in the long term. And we want to make sure that you're adding guys in that kind of fit into everything that you're doing. So when you build a team, when you try to structure it and develop, that's really the key word. You're trying to develop a team, you're trying to grow a team, and certainly that's what we're trying to do with a lot of the young guys that we have.
And Kenny Golladay is soon. We've heard reports that the Lions are working on an extension for Kenny G as well. I'll keep you guys updated when that happens. But until then, thank you, Prop, for watching, and I'm out.